There was a willingness to give the white peasants from Europe an economic base, and yet it refused to give its black peasants from Africa, who came here involuntarily in chains and had worked free for 244 years, any kind of economic base. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and rains of heaven. It was freedom without food to eat or land to cultivate, and therefore it was freedom and famine at the same time. And when white Americans tell the Negro to lift himself by his own bootstraps, they don't look over the legacy of slavery and segregation. I believe we ought to do all we can and seek to lift ourselves by our own bootstraps. But it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And many Negroes, by the thousands and millions, have been left bootless as a result of all of these years of oppression and as a result of a society that deliberately made his color a stigma and something worthless and degrading.
Money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with. And this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
And just in case you need to hear it again.
And this is the reality now. And this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
All right. Welcome once again to the Independent Black Voice. I'm your host, beatzillapdxofficial, and we are here once again. And today we are talking about, of course, it being Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, his birthday celebration. His birthday was actually January 15th, but of course, it's being observed as a holiday, a day off for everybody today. And so those of us who actually do have the time, I'm taking my time to go ahead and get a video up for the family. And hopefully everybody has been well this weekend thus far. So this conversation is about something I saw this weekend about, well, a lot of different things. And it comes at the bottom, well, I guess at the bottom line of it, how much exploitation of us and our ancestors are we willing to tolerate? Have we seen enough to say enough to stop with the, I guess, using the black struggle to gaslight like everybody? And so everybody has an issue. It's time to go ahead and talk about what Black America has been through as it relates to every other group. And somehow when doing that, Black America, of course, gets excluded from whatever resolve they're talking about, as if what Black America has went through in this country and has fought for somehow has been completely achieved. And that is an incorrect position. And so with this, we are back to an election cycle coming up. We've already started this year with Midterm Madness, the first episode of it. And today we are having, double back and talk about our icon and the exploitation of him, his legacy, civil rights, and our ancestors here in this land who have fought for our freedom and justice. A lot of people say that our ancestors fought for everybody else, which is not true at all. And what you heard in those two clips that I played is the topic of Dr. Martin Luther King's discussions, which was his people. Somehow, now that they talk about Dr. King, the last thing they talk about is his people. And unfortunately, that's assisted. That's kind of an assisted thing. And there are people that aid that agenda. But there's evidence of us always being masked over. And so kind of going to look at a few different things today. But one of them, you know, when we talk about us being glossed over, this situation with the tenderism. This is an older black man, because let's think of it this way. If Dr. King was alive today, the Mr. Tenderism, these are the people who are of that age group, like the 90s and 80s and 70s. These are those people, and you know, people who have been able to, unfortunate to cross over to a bill 100 years old of life. And they've seen a lot in this country. Unfortunately, one of the things that they have went through within the country is looking at themselves through the lens of segregation. And the idea of what segregation was at the moment, because it had everybody separate, but it had one group atop of everybody else. So, see, that's not necessarily segregation. It's segregation by economic deprivation. So you take away the element of economic deprivation, then all of a sudden people start talking different. Because when you say, hey, I did the video here, let's have a black city and give us reparations and give us some land. And all of a sudden folks start, whoa, wait a minute. Well, it's just going to be just you. And all of a sudden, don't nobody want to leave us alone. Now they sit up here and say, well, why don't you go back to Africa? What's the difference? If we say a piece of land here that we could go ahead and build on and shine on ourselves, what's the problem? Oh, no, you know, that's, you guys want segregation again? I mean, before too long, you guys will be eating each other. And they're like, no, that's actually not our history. Quite the opposite. But speaking of history, one of the things that is notorious in this country when it comes down to black invention, whether it be artistry, whether it be culinary, because culinary artistry is in our communities, it is a norm, but in all reality, it is a gift. It is a gift to be talented in the kitchen. And like, you know, people would say, hey, this is what the United States Health Board, whatever, recommend for washing your meat. Our people have kept people in this country healthier a lot longer than any of them institutions. Guess what they did? Oh, they washed that meat off. We are not barbarians. So you want to wash your meat, regardless of what those people tell you. And you know what you need to do if you're worried about chicken juice or beef juice or lamb blood or whatever getting around your sink? You know what you do? You clean it. There's a novel idea. You clean it. Get some cleaning products in your home and you clean. Now, I know it might be you don't shower every day. It might be kind of one of those things that, hey, I don't get it. Yeah, he just clean it off. And then here's another habit that you might want to start picking up. After you do your thing in the bathroom, just wash your hands. Anyway, moving on to the story about tenderism, the tendernism. This man done got his name at this point attempted to be jacked, as it seems. I guess I'm probably not alone when I look at this story and say, not all that surprised. But let's check this out. Let me just stop right there. You know what a lot of people have said about this entire story is that this guy is jealous of tendernism. I saw a lot of people cover this. I did not see that particular clip of him saying this. Have y'all seen that part before? Because I've seen a lot of clips of this, but this one stuck out. Let me go back to what he just said. Because people are like, I think he's jealous. Listen to what he tells you his motivation is right now. Listen to it. Including, hold on. I'm going to have to fix that. Okay. Okay, let me go back to the beginning because we need to hear that. Okay. Here we go.
He's added to the business has been huge and is very visible to a lot of people. But then at the end of the day, it shortchanges so many other people who built this business, including this guy.
See, so Keith Lee wants to come there, patronize the business, give the business his support, and he tells the other brother, that the Haitian cat, that he wants to talk to Walt and give him a little blessing. Well, a thing in our culture here in America that's not foreign to, somebody may be touched. They may feel that they were moved by God or the Spirit or, whatever connection they were feeling with that man, and say, I want to just come lay something on this man because it was on my heart to give him. For some reason, this man, who of course you just saw made it about himself, he thinks that, when you do that, you must think he needs your help. At least that's how he presents it. And what I see there is, hey, you wanted to give him $4,000. Why didn't you give me $4,000? Well, because he didn't want to give it to you. And it wasn't that it was your business that wanted to give him, for him to bring that money to your business in the first place. It's literally that black man next to you. And for some reason, you can't humble yourself enough to allow the space for that man to just have an interaction with another black man, content creator who has well over 1 million, or I believe like 11 million in following. And then everything he does after it. Doubles down on what everybody already thought. And I think because he's so comfortable, and this is one of those times where I think seeing how certain people can get comfortable because of the people they're around, when this show gets on the main stage, everybody gets to see what it is for real. And maybe this is a wake-up call for the elderly brother there. And maybe, obviously not the other ones around, but for him, because he, of course, I would have to assume he is the foundational Black American. The other cast there, I don't, obviously the other brother's Haitian, not sure about the other dude, the other Walter. They call him Walter French, so I'm assuming he might also be Caribbean. Probably, so, and then now all of a sudden we find out that dude is trademarking tendernism. So, okay, here's what he said. The people want to give him the money, but there's other people that help build this business. Well, then who helped build tendernism? Not you. And you're wanting to patent basically Unc's name. That's insane. But let's hear him go off.
Who, when I met him, had absolutely zero.
People thought the worst part was that Unc wasn't the restaurant owner. It wasn't. The real outrage is that the term tendernism was trademarked by the restaurant owner. What we are witnessing is an old black man being used as a mascot for another man, white man's restaurant. And let's be honest, after seeing all those viral videos of the meat falling off the bone, anybody would want to try it. It was tendernism that made this restaurant explode online. People come to see him. Keith Lee came to see him. The viral fame, the business, the buzz that came from Unc, not the owner. But when Keith tried to leave a $4,000 tip, security stopped him, saying Unc was too busy. What made people even angrier was the owner's response afterward.
If I would have known he was here, I would have probably asked Edie to stop for a few seconds so we could go over there. That's what I would have done.
The way the owner speaks and Unc's energy.
And I think that's another part that gets a lot of people. Had I would have known, I would have stopped him and we would have went over there. Nobody asked for you. This is not a moment that involves you. And I think what dude is experiencing right now is a big dose of, I don't know how to read the room. Because what he's doing right now doesn't make any sense. But to him, I'm sure it does. And he's full-fledged, like, oh man, I'm gonna go gung-ho with this, and y'all look at me, and I'm gonna put Unc on a plane, and then I'm gonna make me some videos, all of the videos. Okay. And people are calling him out for it, rightfully so, because it definitely looks funny.
He just makes the whole thing feel uncomfortable. And ever since then, the owner has been showing up in every tendernism video. Now, the restaurant is getting canceled, with people saying the owner mistreated Unc, and he doesn't get paid for all the popularity he's brought to the place. What's your take on all of this?
Wow.
But look here, this is beef bone. I want to make sure y'all see the clarity on it. Look.
I had a Wonder Mom today, and she stopped me. I was at the soda machine, and she's like, how does it feel to change the world? And I kind of knew what she meant, but I was a little bit struck at first. And then I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I see everything that's going on inside here, and it's a beautiful thing. And what she meant was, when you go inside this place, which we're going to do right now, you're going to see everybody in the...
I told y'all, this man wants to be the...
See, this is called cap. I don't believe that a woman said, how do you feel changing the world? And she was talking to you about your restaurant. Here's another thing. Well, I can't understand why he would want to give a business owner money. I've already seen the video months ago that clearly displayed that this guy is not the owner, not part owner. No, employee. That's what we saw. Now all of a sudden he's trying to change it up. There's a little more. Let me get past my man's commentary here. No, that's okay. That's the end of that's the end of that. Tendernism. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So that's the first part of the theft. You know, it's this tendernism thing. So food, like we've seen recipes from the Colonel to what's her face, Paula Deen, and various other recipes that were probably picked up and stolen by, or maybe even sold or bought by like Kraft, you know, and mass marketed. These are things that I remember, like when with my grandfather and a friend of his, like they had their own barbecue sauces to the point to where barbecue company, well, not even barbecue companies, because they didn't exist at the time. There was no such thing as buying barbecue sauce in the store. So they were trying to find a way to mass market barbecue sauce because they would come to these black events and taste the food. They come, your church is selling dinners. They come right around to your church and come get them some church dinners. That's a business because you're basically scouting. You know what I'm saying? You're scouting out the next big thing. And barbecue sauce has been here to stay. Barbecue sauce came on the market and has only expanded. Literally only expanded. So, but how many of those sauces are given, like there's a source getting credit? You mean to tell me that Kraft just out of nowhere came up with a barbecue sauce? Considering how nobody around there, barbecue, understand, ribs are popular now. Back in the day, that was still considered slave and peasant food, just like oxtails. Oxtails now is like cuisine. Oxtails before, no. And what's so funny too, you know what used to be expensive? Shrimp and lobster. Shrimp and lobster was the spendy stuff. Now they throwing shrimp at you. And, you know, for those especially who have went to diets that do not even touch shellfish, that's what that you know how much people lose on black folks eating healthy? Black folks change their diets and people start losing. That's why there is good efforts to tell you to eat certain things and hey, this isn't a problem for you. I wonder how much the pork industry pays the church to tell you pray over pork. Just pray over pork. It changed the health property of it. Just pray over it. Somehow, though, in your mind, you say, I can't pray over poison and be okay. But I'm going to pray over this bacon and it's okay. All right. Ooh, my blood pressures. I don't know what. I don't know what's wrong. My diabetes and Lord, I don't know. Yeah, what you ingest, you know, and unless you were actively by a pigsty, it's not like you ever walked past a pig pen and seen big piles of crap. You got to be there to see a pig boo-boo. It ain't going to be there for long. It's just over here eating animals that are fit for latrine duty. But hey, to each his own. Anyway, moving on to the next topic in here. I was definitely not supposed to start again. I don't know what just happened there. Okay, that was weird. Okay, so like I said, moving on. The sound is good. You can hear me. So moving on to the use of our culture. Remember, just a little while ago, they were trying to push that hip hop. Hip hop is created in Jamaica. All this Puerto Rican influence, all of this nonsense. Well, there's a video that just recently surfaced of Kool Herc talking about the inspiration of hip hop. Let's see what he has to say.
And I stopped doing it, and my love.
See it again.
And I love music. I left to dance. I was part of being the graffiti artist, and I stopped doing it, and my love of music, and see the kids appreciate it. And James Brown is a big inspiration to me. I love James Brown. Hip hop is a spinoff of James Brown. Also,
hip hop is a spinoff of James Brown. You throw George Clinton in there, that's telling you that you don't have hip hop without Black American musical influence, not Jamaican, not Puerto Rican. We're not bouncing over here to Calypso. That's not what's taking place. And so, speaking of hip hop, there's things that happen, and I guess I'll go here now. I hear that so many things get this weird label when we talk about hip hop. Hip hop culture, which hip hop culture coming out of Kamala Harris's mouth meant American culture. But if you look at some other people's like the Anton Daniels and the some of these other tethers and bootlegs, they like to use hip hop culture as a euphemism for Black culture, always talking about what Black rappers talk about, and it's always about guns, and it's this and that, and it's this consistent line of horse crap that always says that we do this and we worship hip hop and we worship the bad, and we don't. And see, so like people seen what happened with Anton Daniel, and for those of us over here, we are well aware of this guy, for some of us anyway. So I'm not really surprised how that went. But just to give you kind of understanding of that mentality, where he comes from, because there's these tethers that have been fortunate to live here, but their nature is so opposite of ours that, and then they come out here and start trying to somewhat sound like right-wing white supremacists, but it just comes off whack, like this.
Black men lose respect from me is because y'all put all this effort into hip hop culture, bang, bang, violence, shoot, shoot, kill, to kill each other. And when it's time to shoot a cop, an ICE agent, stand up to a white man, y'all be dead silent.
When it comes time to what? What the hell is she talking about?
To kill each other. And when it's time to shoot a cop, an ICE agent, stand up to a white man, y'all be dead silent.
Well, first off, well, you know what? Hold on. Let me get something correct here. Let's we got to address this. Let's get that right. When it's time to, there is not a time to threaten law enforcement. There is not a time to go out and look out to do illegal things against law enforcement, and then get online and start screaming and proclaiming those loudly. I don't understand the concept of that. So when it's time to, when has it been time? When is that time that you need to go do this to police or an ICE agent? Why would Foundation of Black Americans need to be doing anything with ICE agents? Now, granted, in drill rap, there are a lot of immigrants. So when it comes down to the drill rappers, maybe this could be applicable. But to say hip hop culture, drill rap ain't hip hop. So why is she going to hip hop culture? The reason being is she's trying to put this wide net on all Black people via way of drill rap by calling it hip hop. Because the shoot 'em up, bang, bang, kill, kill, all of that's young YN drill rap. And majority of those guys are foreigners. Majority of those guys are foreigners. So to bring the third world thing coming to us, that doesn't really play, because that is not our culture, ma'am. So what you're calling hip hop culture is actually third world Black immigrant culture. But go on.
And it's not sitting with me. Like, I don't respect y'all at all for that reason. It's all fake. The hip hop culture bullshit is all fake. It's all ego. It's not rooted in no real shit. How the fuck do y'all put more energy into killing each other than killing the white people that be enslaving us?
Here's another element of pageantry and agentry that you're seeing. People talking like this, isn't it interesting? Right now, all of a sudden, there are people coming out talking about what you need to do, and you need to get yourself this good. When we gonna get some guns, and what? This is so familiar. This is so 2020. Very 2020. This is very Charlie Kirk-ish to me. This is very Turning Point-ish to me. Why, when these men in dress loving, Skittles promoting, baby annihilating Democrats for the last 4 years prior to this administration, why did we not see any Black militant organization talking this or that? No. But in 2020, we see people coming out the woodworks called the NFAC. Because we're not fucking around. That's right. We're here because we are the black and the brown. And we're here with our guns. And we're letting everybody know that we're not fucking around. And what are we hearing? All of a sudden, again, who's in office and what type of talk are we hearing already? There's no black identity extremism going on nowhere. But all of a sudden, this woman in this video, you see the time on here? It's less than a minute. Why is she talked about doing illegal things against law enforcement that much within a minute? And using this topic as a gaslighting, shaming tactic to say, hey, YNs, why aren't you doing this? Because she's not condemning the rappers. She's saying the people who subscribe to the culture, I guess. Why aren't you running out being extra super militant? Why aren't you going out there doing things right now? Again, I'm just saying, with this type of people, when people come out here talking like this, why weren't you seeing this during the Biden administration? None of it. Man, and she's talking about hip hop culture. Hip hop was celebrated at the damn White House. The White House, the administration of the United States of America held a celebration for hip hop. The vice president spoke it and at the ceremony. But here she is now saying, no, you guys, this is why I don't have any respect for black men. Because you're not out there doing this to police.
But ready to die over some Jordans, die over petty shit. But when it's time to shoot a cop, you can't do it. You don't got no balls, no gas in your tank. Miss me with that bullshit.
Okay, so first off, I'm sure there should be some things y'all should pick up on here. Namely, the hair going on up here. Like, okay, what's happening here? And again, I'm getting African. And she's saying her name has organic in the name. But what's going on here? So whatever. She's talking about, she's really going on about doing things against law enforcement, and that's why black men shouldn't be respected, because instead we're doing things to each other for Jordans. For Jordans? See, when you start hearing people talk like this is why you start asking questions. Who sent these folks? This woman over here talking about you people, you guys are doing things to each other for Jordans. Really? See, again, okay, same thing with NFAD. Out of date talking points coming from black people as if, like, this is how black people are moving this day and age. No. I'm telling you, when people look at these folks, they probably automatically think Democrat. No. Do not. I think these are the type of backstabbing, sniveling coons and cowards that these are hand-picked ones. They like these types because they'll get out here and say stuff like that. Let me tell you something. Let me show you this, man. This woman right here, if you think she hangs around black people at all, you are out of your mind. This woman don't hang around. She don't got no black friends. That's why she couldn't really figure out what to do with her hair. And then because that's why, like, okay, you just doing this. So she has a script, but that's the other part. Notice how their script ain't authentic. Their script sounds like it was given to him by some white dude who thought he was cool. Like, you know, like black acting school. And that's just the type of people at the Turning Point, folks. The Kirksters, that's exactly the types they like. That is exactly the types they like. And, you know, then you'll get you'll know how they're ran and sent out there when you get other white folks coming out talking about, man, why are you guys, that person's black. All they have is just a different opinion than you. That's how you know the fix is in. The con is in. So going from that type of talk to this type of talk. Let me get this fool here. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I got it.
For the immigrants. I want to tell.
Okay. So remember how the last woman mentioned the immigrants. So making sure they tie a agenda to the black agenda that is not actually the black agenda. It is, however, a Democrat agenda. But by doing that, it takes the black conversation and move it into another space. But we now
power to the people. I'm Chairman Paul Burton from the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. I want to address a couple things. Thing number one, I see a lot of people asking why the Black Panthers are going up against ICE for the immigrants. Well, I want to tell you something. The Black Panther Party is not a black nationalist organization.
Family. I'm sorry. Let me go back here. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's just me. But where y'all from that you see this dude and something about what you see on your screen right now don't say police? You mean to tell me you see this dude and you think he on the level? This dude don't say cop to you? I'm sure there might be, yeah, you guys always want to be talking about somebody. I'm the only one out here that has shot a white man. I need all y'all knock it off. And I'm in Portland, Oregon. Cowardly biatches. Always out here talking tough. I got my gun. You look like fools. Let me tell you something about Oregon. We got a gang of militias all around here. They ain't no damn Proud Boys neither. Them Bundys, the Clive and Bundys, you also know they live out here too. So you go to a gun show or something like that, you'll see where they really at. So all of this, I'm going to walk down Main Street and Broadway with my rifles and we're going to get in our paramilitary outfits and walk down the street. Them folks ain't studying you. They know that's for sure. Because you ain't nowhere around when they getting their bullets. And they out there in the wilderness practicing and doing what they do out here. So when I see madness like this, now I see these little dumb idiots coming out here talking about, y'all just hating on them because they willing to get out there and do something. Yeah, you doing something all right. You showing getting everybody out there for them cameras and facial recognition. And just like NFAC got everybody's gun registered. That ain't nothing but a Fed. That's a CIA hotline. What are you talking about? Y'all got to move better than that, man. This man say police, y'all. Come on.
Black nationalist organization. The new Black Panther Party might be. I'm not sure. The Revolutionary Black Panther Party might be. Any of these variations of Black Panther parties might be. But the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, the one that Huey Newton started with Bobby Seale, is an internationalist organization that...
How did you revive this? And I did that video the other day. How did you revive an organization to where you have Chairman Fred, the son of one of the Panthers right now, and like I know in my city there are old Panthers here. Yeah, this is just, it's like nobody knows this guy. And yeah, we are the original Panthers. In Philadelphia? Okay.
Stands as allies with oppressed people no matter what their ethnic background is, no matter what their cultural background is. So just like my predecessors stood up against the United States of America's imperialist regime with Vietnam to stop the Vietnam War. I don't know if you know your history, you know the Black Panther Party was strictly opposed to the Vietnam War. You know, we had the Rainbow Coalition with all different ethnic groups coming together and fighting against the regime together. That's what we stand for.
Yeah, that part about all the other. Yeah, doing that actually is what also was brought about the demise and time and charges for a lot of Panthers, because you allowed yourself to be infiltrated by doing the whole Rainbow Coalition thing. You know, because there is no such thing. All other groups are coalesced or have inter coalitions amongst themselves. Black folks, don't we have enough in our own community of different lanes? We got people with different faiths. Don't we have that same inner type of tribal thing? Why don't that work for us? I'm just saying. and here this guy is saying we need to fight for everybody else who ain't picking up a stick to throw at a mailbox for us.
All power to the people. There's only one race on the planet, and that's the human race. We have different ethnic backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? We have different cultural backgrounds, different skin colors, you know, different languages and ideologies, but we're all part of one human race. You know what I'm saying? So we're not a nationalist group, we're an international group. And then another thing, you know, I got people from my past, like this one elderly man, I'm not gonna say his name, but they like to troll me and, you know, try to call me fake gangster, fake this, fake that.
It has always been my experience to when you first meet somebody or somebody is making their introduction to you, that should come with what they represent solely. If there's anything negative about that, then you should just allow that to manifest naturally if a person is really legit. And then they have to bring it to you in a manner to which would be convincing, because now this person already made a first impression. But these type of people always, the person that knows that they burn bridges always introduces their last burnt bridge at their greeting. Man, nice to meet you, man. Yeah, you know, there's this old hater out here too. They might come around talking shit about me in a minute though. But I just want you to know, man, they just some haters, man. So, you know, don't listen to anything they have to say about me. They're just bitter and angry that I'm doing better. I ain't never did nothing to nobody. But they always, they when you meet them, they are introducing you to their last burnt bridge. You will hear that in the first conversation. That'll let you know what type of time that person is on. Bullshit. Whether it be fast or whether it be long. Take it from me.
From my past, and you know, I don't care. You know, my goal is not to prove to anybody that I was ever a gang member or that I was ever a thug.
Oh. Mm-hmm. See, here's another thing. He's now letting you know that what you're going to hear is about all of this militant you see in this persona I'm trying to pass off. Yeah, he's going to tell you that I'm a crumb cake and I'm really soft as a Twinkie. And I mean, really though, I ain't worried about that because at the end of the day, I ain't trying to prove that I'm some kind of gangster, that I've ever been a gang member, or I'm some kind of tough guy. Y'all got to know when people are confessing to you without confessing. So he's confessing within defense of himself. But he just told you what he was. If you know how to listen, you can follow this Negro if you want to. Good luck.
Or what I was locked up for, wasn't locked up for. You know, my goal is to protect my people from ICE.
Oh, hold on. Wait. What's that last part there?
Or wasn't locked up for. You know, my goal is not to prove to anybody that I was ever a gang member or that I was ever a thug or what I was locked up for, wasn't locked up for. You know, my goal is to protect my people from ICE.
I don't know if I like that last comment. Yeah, I don't know if I like that last comment at all. Yeah. So like I said, he was going to, it has to be bad enough that he knows that this could do damage to him, because just talking shit about somebody's talking shit. So it has to be deeper than that. He got to what it really is at the end of that. See, he starts off with, well, man, yeah, you know, I don't have to depend on whether I'm a gangster or whether I was in the gang or not, or what I'm locked up for or not. But, you know, I don't have to. I'm here to defend the people. Uh-oh. Back up. What was that part again? It doesn't matter about what you were locked up for or not. Yeah, it does. Oh, yes, it does. And if you've been locked up, you know good and damn well it does. So I'm going to tell you right there, that don't sound good to me. And if he had to sit somewhere, somebody going to be like, yeah, what's up with that charge? And you know you can't lie because that phone right over there. So somebody going to be able to find what's happening. But yeah, that little statement, yeah, I don't know. I don't know there, fella. That one right there didn't sit well with me. Yes, because the fact that you have to announce that there's some old dude from your past. But the one thing you're saying is you're not calling him a liar. You're just saying that he's going to dump a bunch of info and you're not worried about it because you're just focused on protecting the people and fighting for the people. Well, if them charges is funny, that's going to be an issue. Whether you're fighting for the people or not, that's going to be a problem. So, which obviously dude knows. And so that's why I'm like, I just, that comment does not sit well with me. I would like to know more, sir. What did you Would you like to enlighten us just a little slightly further about what exactly does that mean? But moving on. So moving on to suspect Negroes. 5150.
Notice already. When the cops shoot you, ain't nothing you can do about it.
Oh my God, this is so crazy.
Do you think that's wrong? What I said?
This is so insane.
Is that what I said? I said when the cops shoot you, ain't nothing you can do about it. Is that a lie?
This is so insane.
But you didn't answer it.
I don't think people give Corey enough credit in what happened here. And I see a lot of people talk, man, see, what he said is a lot of stuff that went over Corey's head because he was talking political. Yeah, because you went over there because you would do the same thing that this moron did. He went in front of a man trying to talk his shtick to a grown-ass man, and it failed. Why? Because he played Corey like Corey was stupid. And what none of y'all will admit is that Corey Holcomb intellectually walked down your man to get him to expose himself for what he truly is as a man. Now, all real men that can recognize real should be able to perceive that. Now, what we saw is Anton is stuck on an argument. And if he can't launch his stuff off a certain platform, he's through. He is not multifaceted. He don't have that ability. And for all of y'all that like, man, yeah, Anton, you tell yourself that all you want to. Yeah, he told Corey up and this and that. You kidding? That's why who's the one making all the videos doing damage control right now? Corey Holcomb or Anton Daniels? And this is because Anton understands, I'm from Detroit. Yeah, what Corey did, that tugs on the pocket to where that hood pass is kept. And I don't think a lot of these squares understood that, obviously, because I see, man, he should have fired off on him. Why didn't he? First off, when this man stands up and walks over to the man, there should have never been one man standing and another man sitting. Y'all saw that when Tariq ran up on Tommy Sotomayor and he sat his ass down. Don't sit up here and get brand new right now. That Negro did the exact same thing to Corey Holcomb. And then y'all trying to act like he was going to steal off from Corey Holcomb. Let me tell y'all else something. Just a piece of advice for men and women. If you got a Negro with little tiny ass woman hands, don't trust that dude. Don't trust the dude with beady eyes and little hands, especially. So when you're dealing with Anton Daniels, he got the double, he got the trifecta. He a tether, he got little hands and beady eyes. There's nothing you're supposed to be trusting out of this Negro. Nothing. Not a damn thing. He ain't nothing but a hustler. And you should hear it in the way he talk. That's why the one thing he do know is where he want to get close to is in white folks. That family. Didn't I say a long time ago on this broadcast that I'm not concerned about these guys that want to get close to these people. I'm just looking at the people they want. When they see them go down, they gonna know it's a wrap. Why you think Anton took his ass over here on 5150? Because he needs to have some black relevance. Because once white folks is done with him, there's nothing left. So he's coming over here trying to save face. And so what Corey did is before you even try your little Candace Owens pivot, I'm going to show everybody you ain't shit. Pay attention, folks.
I'm going to answer your question.
Okay.
I'm going to answer your question. It depends on the circumstance. And the interesting thing about it is this: the majority of the people, because you like to use a blanket statement. That's like me saying all black people are stupid.
Well, have you said all white people stupid?
No, I'm talking about
you should say that one time.
I'm talking about
because
cops.
it's easy to
You're
say
not
all black people are
gaslight me.
stupid as an example. Say something about the white people.
No. You're not. I don't think you got
people all the time. Oh, well, I didn't hear you. Can you tell me? Because I
talk
don't
about
know.
liberal
I hear
white
you talking
women
about
literally being the biggest enemy of the United States of America. That's the thing I say every single
Caucasian
day.
female, the biggest enemy.
Literally white.
This Negro wears big ass glasses. Why the hell can't you see his eyes? Because he has beady eyes. You don't trust nobody with little tiny woman hands, little tiny 10-year-old hands and beady eyes. He is not to be trusted in the first place. And shout out to all of my black immigrants that are riders. Salute to you. But this cat right here, hey man, that third world tethered cowardly nonsense. When he come over here, he think the white folks is God, and so the only thing I can do is make myself feel better, seeing like, yeah, I'm kind of like y'all, but I'm not, and they don't really see me as you. He still believe that. So I mean, I'm glad that Corey exposed this. Don't ever get yourself fooled that this Negro does not believe that. If he was selling a con, then he would have exposed that. This Negro knows what he's selling, but he ain't selling it because he believes something else. He's selling it because this is what is in his heart. Y'all don't get fooled by Anton Daniels.
Liberal women are the worst thing that ever happened to this country.
What about their men?
But we gonna get there because you keep trying to get me to qualify it by participating and joining in on the court.
No, I think you're doing what's easy.
No. I'm doing what's real.
I think.
Now, this is what you talk about, a world-class 100-mile dash away from any type of talk disparaging the white man. I've spoken on this particular phrase that I'm about to say before here on this broadcast. And I would advise when you get time in your adult time to look this up. The cool, spelled with a K, kids, spelled with a K, club, also spelled with a K. And I advise you to see what the Cool Kids Club advocates, especially when it comes down to black men that want to be with the club. And I think if you see Craig Fax has a very good picture. And if you see the picture where dude got his pants kind of down and he on his knees, that's part of the picture of what they subscribe to. And so Craig Fax just gave you half of it if you don't know what you're witnessing when you're seeing that. And that is derivative of wanting to be part of the Cool Kids Club, such as Anton Daniels does. And this is what he is demonstrating right now to say, no, I would rather have something in my mouth than ever let ill words of the white man come out of it. Let's continue.
You don't want to go against them because if you go against them, it'll be some video of you going against them. And when I say them, I'm talking about your boss.
I don't have a boss.
We say that.
The hell you don't, Anton. Kanye West got more money than all of you. Cowardly bootlicking coons. And guess what? When they said he wasn't a billionaire no more, in a day, he wasn't a billionaire no more. You damn right you got bosses, Anton. Knock it off.
We say that, but here's the truth.
I don't have a boss.
It's a reason you go after black males or black people quicker than you will go after white males. What are white males responsible for in this country as the downfall of it?
Equal accountability smoke giver.
Did he not hear the question? Did he not hear Corey's question? Let's just hear that.
males or black people quicker than you will go after the white males. What are whites responsible for in this country as the downfall
I'm an
of
equal
it?
accountability smoke giver. I talk about everybody.
I'm just saying, I ain't heard you talk about white men since you've been up here.
You ain't been listening. You ain't been listening.
I've been listening to you.
No, you haven't.
I hear you
don't
taking
have,
the.
you don't have the capacity to be able to listen because you're too busy.
Now he has to go to an insult instead of offering the critique, the negative critique of the white man that he is, or position that he is taking against white men. Why didn't he offer that in that moment? Instead, he bailed himself out by way of insults and shame. Does anything about that sound familiar? See, what a lot of you are witnessing, and I talk about this a lot, and I'm glad, again, that Corey got him where he is. And all of y'all that think that Corey is losing this battle intellectually, you are a fool. No. Real recognize real, and what this is showing is this Negro here, Anton Daniels, a sucker. A bona fide sucker. Not only that, though, a cowardly sucker that just right there exposed exactly what his motives are. So for those of us who have definitely called out these conservative guys that thought they were going to be the next up and coming thing at Turning Point. Turning Point already got their choice future coons. And it ain't y'all. They don't want anybody with an organic following. So if you already built your following to get over there, no. That won't be coming around Turning Point no more. They're never going to have a Candace Owens again. You can forget that. So all of you guys out there that think that, man, I'll get up here and maybe I'll get there, and not fooling with you. If you don't come from them, from poverty to whatever they said they can have, good luck to you, man. You're on your own, buddy. They're not fooling with you. You will not have no MAGA money. The MAGA donors ain't going to be rocking with you. The anti-black right-wing real estate agents ain't going to be fooling with you. Hollywood ain't going to rock with you. The music business ain't going to rock with you. Advertisers ain't going to rock with you. They can shut all that down. And that's why Anton has to come over here and save face, but he still couldn't come and do it with grace because he despises black folks. Why do you think he chose Corey? Now he's going to try to throw Corey under the bus and say, he set me up. Right now he's doing all these excuses, and we had conversations. It's going to morph into he set me up. Because as he starts seeing the bottom line on the revenue side, oh, trust me, it's going to be, Corey set me up. See, Corey knew that these no good Negroes out here would just come and get my money. Trust me. Give him a few months. Give him to about fall till he start looking at the change in the tax statements and the phone ain't ringing the same. People say, because financial viability died on Tuesday for Anton Daniel. Yeah, and I don't think people understand. Again, shout out to Corey Holcomb for dismantling this fool. And what y'all don't understand, y'all watching, you think Anton Daniel where can he go after this? Where? Which way is up? That's aside from the whole fighting thing. Because, see, this is what I want people to focus on. We're not even getting to that. I want you to watch how Corey Holcomb forced this dude to expose himself. And this is where his motive is. He's trying to disparage black folks because, number one, he despises foundational black Americans. And now he is trying to demonstrate, I can come over here on this platform and get this level of influence and then maybe shift it over here to go in another direction, conservative-wise. Because they look at Corey Holcomb, again, they're looking for any type of energy from a black voice that they could say, we could use this to propel our agenda going into this next election season. Because this guy, he's caping for a job. And right now, you better get out of getting this good for the GOP. Because you might see a lot of independent candidates within the next few years changing the landscape of everything. So, you know, time is now. And Anton is working hard for the biscuits.
No. You got me wrong.
You too busy.
My capacity
case,
that you just criticized, that's an opinion. Here's the fact. Have you said something about Caucasian males and how they destroy this nation? Well, what did I miss?
Let's slow down because you're talking loud, but you're not saying a lot.
No. He asked you the exact same question. You're talking loud, but you're not saying nothing. He only thing he has to say loud is the question, because there's a question mark at the end of that phrase. So right now, you don't have to tell him that he's talking loud. You can just simply answer that man's question. What was the criticism of the white man and his ruining of America? No, let's slow up. Let's slow down. He asked you the question twice. What's to slow down for? What did we miss? Did we miss something? So again, family, I'm not playing this because everybody can do their critique on this whole fight thing. Okay, and for those of you who think Anton was finna do anything, like I said, little hands. Look at this. Look at these. Look at them baby mitts on this dude, man. Are you serious? And then, your body language reading is terrible. Did y'all see at the end of their exchange, Corey Holcomb completely turn his side to this dude? And so for all of you dudes out there, stay in the gym, stay punching heavy bags. Because I saw this dude try to show y'all his knuckles. Like, see, we be scrapping it out. He got those are marks you get when you punch heavy bags without taping your hands up. So you can get these burns because it's a canvas bag. So you're rubbing your knuckles against canvas. Those are heavy bag burns. He trying over here like, look at my hands, y'all. See my hands. Stop. Those are heavy bag burns. As soon as I seen it, I was like, oh, and they're healing. Because, okay, all of this around here, anybody show you their knuckles and like, oh, I'll be scrapping it out. This, if they're like, it looks like blisters were coming up, that is from punching heavy bags. Bruises in your hands and all of this shit in here. This is what happens to hurt when you're actually punching someone. You're not going to be over here like, my knuckles, look at me big of my knuckles. Are you kidding? No, your hands should be cut, like, especially if you're going bare knuckle. There should be cuts and scratches on that dude's hands. He's just showing you his knuckles with burns when they're healing, like blisters. Anton Daniels reminds me of some of these like so-called financial gurus. Y'all be just, oh, I'm gonna buy his course. Okay, well, where are the? Hey, if y'all still falling for the dude on the yacht, more power to y'all, man. He just ain't on TV no more. He can just, get on the internet and maybe get some new 3D printed teeth and call it a day.
No, you talking loud, and you still talking around. What did the Caucasian male do to America to bring it down?
I'm not getting into that.
Third time he asked him. I'm not getting into that. Again, this is the point of Anton Daniel. Now, he could say right there, okay, Corey, I'll indulge you. Sure, the white man has done A, B, C, D. Then make his quick pivot back to shitting on niggas. But no. He doesn't want to do that. He is definitely afraid of saying anything negative against white folks. That, again, is a clear sign of a tether. Clear sign of a tether. He ain't, and that type of doing that, it's like, are you worried about getting your citizenship revoked? Because he just definitely afraid against that. I'm not going to do that. You asked me 3 times, exact same question. I told you slow up before. You asked me a 3rd time, and you said I'm dancing around it. I'm just going to flat out stop dancing and tell you, no, I ain't going to do that. And for all of y'all idiots that sat up here and watched this dude do intro, yeah, he held his own with Corey Holcomb. No, he didn't. All of this right here, he was asked 3 times to just reiterate his own criticism that he said he levied. That's it. All you got to do is tell me what you said then. I must have missed it. What'd you say? I'm not going to repeat it. But you said something negative about these people. What is it? At least say where you could find it. Say where, well, hey, go pull this up. Go. No, this is a total back out of the room. So again, I just wanted to show this type of, y'all could go listen to everybody else talk about what they perceive off this fight, because this idiot had to go to throw in an insult such as one he knew would get under Corey's skin just to back out of the conversation. And then at the very end of the day, that man called you a bitch ass nigga to your face, bro. Say what you will. That man did 2 things. Well, actually 3. So 3, he just pressed you intellectually to admit your position. You refused. 2, he said, say it. Say it again. Say it one more time. I'll show you this time. This is not for the internet. Me and you, face to face. Say it to me one more time. Now, those of us in our culture, we know that a man that understands that he's dealing with a dude that really don't want that smoke, he's giving you the opportunity to walk out because he's aware of what he's gonna do. Not because he's fearful. If the only thing he might be fearful of is how bad he's going to do you, and how bad do I want to, like, where do we want to go tonight? Anton ain't cut like that. And all these people talking about, what, have y'all been listening about what they say about these comedians? These dudes sell jokes for a living. Not all these guys is from jokey land, no. They can make jokes and take and turn them into jokes, but a lot of these dudes ain't that. Be glad that they telling jokes. They're not kicking your door, putting a pistol in your mouth. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't take these dudes because they tell jokes. Like, they won't take it across your face. Yes, some of these dudes are built like that. So you putting yourself at risk playing with folks, and you don't say things that you can't say to a man. And I don't care when we do this, and nobody do that in America, bro. And the fact that y'all are sitting up here like it's a badge of honor to never have been arrested or been to jail, that's cool and keen for you, but you're missing the point of what he's saying about that. Being in an environment to where you may have people who are civilians and you have people that have been in and out of that joint, in that neighborhood, there is a protocol established. And you know what that's called? Respect. And everybody gets to learn that boundary of respect, because your OGs will say, hey, look, young buck, I see the way you headed, and you might have to encounter these situations one day, and this is something you got to understand. That what you're doing right now ain't going to work everywhere. That is the kind of cultural connections that we have that Anton Daniels does not understand. He doesn't come from it, but he spends all of his time speaking against it. Just like these other people, and they want to chalk it up to, you guys are hip-hop culture. No, this is Black American culture, foundational to this land. And what we are is the most resilient people that have been in this country to this date. So much so that it established a place for your third world ancestors to come here. So the thing about him, and then he turns around, what you niggas want? We could be a lot lighter of ungrateful, anti-foundational Black American tellers, so you could go back to where your people from. But that don't sound appealing, huh? Because they're not balling there, are they? Yeah, we know. We know. Now, that's like I said, that's all I wanted to play. Shout out to Corey Holcomb in 5150 for intellectually demolishing that dude and exposing a lot of you fake intellects and fake so-called G's out here that can't even understand the intellectual walk down of a conversation. That's what got Anton so heated. Anton he recognized that the game that he was trying, basically it's like a country dumb. You went in there, you underestimated this brother, and he walked you into a pit that you couldn't talk yourself out of. Then you know how you get into the pit is when the exact same question can be answered to you multiple times. And every time it's asked for you, you have to pivot, run, and escape answering the question. Anton Daniels did not do anything other than fail. Okay? That was an intellectual beatdown by a comedian that all of y'all want to find a way to be just disrespectful to because you don't like the brother speaking his mind. But at the end of the day, Corey Holcomb absolutely dismantled your guy, Anton Daniels. Guy exposed himself as a straight up sucker and a bona fide coon. So Anton Daniels doesn't have to run around saying, man, people will call me a coon. You showed yourself to be that dude. Don't cry to nobody now. No. Please don't. Please don't. But at the end of the day, there's one thing we already know. And we know the spirit that Anton Daniels comes in.
Toby be good nigga for massa. Good nigga.
That's what he want to be. So, good luck with the Toby Act in 2026. Toby be good. Be a good one. Oh, all right. So moving on. Getting to the meat of the matter. Yo, everybody's favorite sister girl. But before we do, we got to get to the first sister girl before we can get to not sister girl. I'm gonna need all of you Jasmine Crockett lovers. I'm gonna need all of y'all to explain something to me. Why do black people have to be used as a prop for Jasmine Crockett to launch her career or launch her campaign? But when it comes down to who she's actually advocating for. We are seeing the visuals, and we see the visuals don't include us. Don't believe me? Maybe I gotta mute that.
Soy mestizo. Somos de todos colores y de todos los oficios.
I want to leave that on the screen so somebody just be like, "Oh, you just got that from somewhere." That is from her campaign page, their TikTok. Time for me to fix this sound again. Oh, did y'all catch the "It's a Small World" in Tejano? So don't give a damn about black folks. Neither do these Democrats, man. It just don't. Here's what it's not. But they'll use us for whatever they want. Hold on. You can see the salve. So here, let me run it back.
Get offended and try to say I'm too black, but the reality is that y'all never let the fact that I am black go. So I'm gonna be clear about one thing. I know my good black history, but this looks like modern day slave patrols, and they have been sanctioned by this Supreme Court.
What does that do?
Why do they say ICE looks like modern day slave catchers when the police are still the modern day? Like, what are we talking about here? The police are derived from the slave catchers. Police forces are still here, and yet here's Jasmine Crockett always saying, and this reminds me of you know what? It's not just Jasmine Crockett though. And wait, there's a video I came across. Where is that? Where is that video? There's a video I came across that's got some people talking. Can't be serious. Hold on. Let me see. Let's get this here. You know, another thing while I'm looking for this video, another thing that I noticed this year, there's no like major disrespectful Martin Luther King tether advertisements like they've been doing. Have y'all noticed that? Like, oh, okay, this didn't. Hold on. Yeah, no big tether advertisements this year. Kind of odd. Just past years, there's always been some disrespectful flyer like, oh, we're going to have a party and it's going to be it's the MLK Day turn up. There's been a lot of that over the past few years. One year they had like MLK kissing Sexy Red or some nonsense like that. Y'all, you know, so yeah. Okay, so
they're holding indigenous people there because they're trying to finish the genocides they've already started.
Okay, so I can't really verify what this guy is saying one way or the other. But yeah, we're gonna put this back in the title of the intro. This woman here, she's one of those, like, I don't understand the FBA type of folks. But now, you know, she got an opportunity to cape for, she sees white boys caping for illegals. And so now, you know, they've gotten her full attention. And so she's just here doing her, what's that?
Just to be clear, they're holding indigenous people there because they're trying to finish the genocides they've already started while they're committing these. That's why they're doing this. They're wiping the table clean of everyone that does not look like me.
That part.
That's what they're doing. That's what's happening here. That's why they're kidnapping indigenous people. That's why because they think they're allowed to finish these genocides while they're committing the others.
Exactly.
Fucking marry what they've been doing for 250 fucking years. They're literal fucking Nazis, and they operate like fucking slave catchers.
Notice the familiar line. So one line on one side to the left, they're acting like Nazis in 250 years. Oh, you mean of anti-black oppression? Well, thank you, white man. But for some reason, you're getting us confused with these illegals. And there's no 250 years of illegals being oppressed in America. That doesn't exist. So what I'm confused about is, how did you bring black people into this conversation while being out there talking about illegal immigrants? I'm confused on how our history intertwines with this topic. How is this? Oh, and not to mention, there's absolutely no black people around you. But yet, here we are in the focal point of your mission statement here. But
ideology is fucking Nazis. They're white supremacists, and they operate in the function of slave catchers. Literally, they move around in roving bands and decide who belongs and who doesn't.
They go around in bands and belong. That is not what slave catchers did. Slave catchers caught escaped slaves and free black people and put them in slavery, kidnapped them and put them in slavery under other names of slaves that they couldn't catch. And here's this tether from the UK over here. Oh, yes, yes. And this is why we can't have these people speaking for us. Neither one of them have our history in proper context. But yet and still, here's a camera and microphone talking to a bunch of white men in Minnesota about foundational Black American history. This has nothing to do with any of this. But nonetheless, let's just keep milking the blacks.
With no oversight. What the fuck is that?
Exactly.
What's that gonna
This
mean?
is white supremacist agenda.
Why do you say that?
No, me, dude. I'm out here.
Let's see where you are.
Come on, man.
This is on limit.
All right, man.
All right, well, sorry, brother. No, I'm so sorry.
What Timmy, he couldn't even recognize him. So here, Don Lemon is just another black guy as far as this guy is concerned, until he could recognize actually who was talking to him. Family, this is the type of thing on today. Understand what our leaders are supposed to sound like. They're supposed to sound like this.
And this is the reality now when we come to Washington. In this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
Instead, we're seeing a bunch of black folks run out here talking about she didn't have to die. Those people are law enforcement. You're going out there trying to interfere with law enforcement doing their duties, getting people out of this country who came in here illegally. And you want black folks to get involved with that when we clearly know what's the truth.
And a lot of white folk have demonstrated
And a lot of white folk have demonstrated eloquently that they don't have no sense.
Because you can't have no sense saying, I'm going to just run up on the cops.
Yeah, so why do you say that? There's a white supremacist agenda. They're not just going after criminals. I'm so sorry I went after you. I didn't recognize. I look upset. There's all kinds of folks out here with media. They're not just going after criminals. They're going door to door and they're targeting any black and brown person they can find. And all
they are not. And that is a lie. Stop using us. They're targeting any black and brown person they can find. Stop it. They're getting people who, because there are dark-skinned immigrants. There are African immigrants that are there. Sinhalese, they're African. They're not, again, they're illegal immigrants, actually, because they're not supposed to be here. So that's why, and most of these people who are getting yanked have warrants to get extradited out of this country. They have deportation orders. So they keep talking about this like as if it's not, there's not a legal precedent for them to get snatched up. It is. And they ain't got nothing to do with Black American history whatsoever. There's no comparison. But it's a white supremacy. They could scream white supremacy all day long, huh? All day long. White supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. I haven't heard white supremacy so much. But when it come down to black folks, well, wait a minute now. I mean, hold on.
America is next. If you live by a black and brown person, you're next. They're above the law. They outnumber our police.
We're next.
There's a white supremacist agenda. No? You just today's the first. I live nearby. I've been out a couple times. Yeah. Yeah. But why do you? I'm so sorry I went after you, man. Dude, it's fine. Why are you out here instead of like being in your warm, cozy house? Because there's a point where whites got to stand up and recognize that this is a white person problem, and we need to represent our black and brown neighbors and disavow MAGA. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you talk about doing that for your black and brown neighbors, these black and brown neighbors that have had their communities flooded here, they haven't been considered. They've had their communities filled to the brim, and in things that should have money going to the citizens and the children of the taxpayers are going to illegals. That's not fair to hardworking American citizens trying to make their way and survive in an economy that is already strained to a T. We cannot be held responsible for the failures of another country. This is the citizenship of America. And then here's the other problem that we have. All that our politicians do is take money from billionaires, and this is the left and the right. All of these people are taking so much money to fund agenda or make sure they pass agendas for these big-ass corporations, and it has nothing to do with serving the people while the people foot the bill. We are footing America foots the bill for Elon Musk while he out there popping shit. America, he's rich because of taxpayers. With his subsidy, he's the biggest welfare recipient in America. Talking shit, but literally the biggest welfare recipient. Biggest welfare recipient in America is a white man named Elon Musk. He the welfare queen. But nobody get out here and say that, though. Oh, well, blacks always want a handout. You're saying this on the app bought by the dude that is literally has it because of his handouts. These people, you can't take these people serious. So let me, we got it going again. And here we go, StreamYard. And I'm recording. This is nuts. So where do I want to go? We're going to get to Good old gift that keeps on giving. How many times can we be pandered to by Democrats? Obviously, 2024 wasn't enough of a message sent that a lot of us do not like the cosplaying of one Kamala Harris. And I guess whoever's advising her once again said, you know what? This time, don't even lean into the Indian thing anymore. Just be black. And we're not even going to say Jamaican. We are now just going to go with African American. And we're just going to roll with that now. You're going to be the first African American to do this or do that. That's what we're going to do. So let's just see how they rolled it out this weekend, because what better time than Martin Luther King Day weekend? Let's take a look, shall we?
It is by maybe divine plan, but certainly by coincidence that we happen to be in Memphis on today. Yeah. But the work you all are doing here is so critically important. In a moment where people need to see light in the midst of darkness, when people need to remember our history, to challenge us about what we're supposed to do at the moment in time in which we exist, facing obstacles and challenges, but also filled with hope, optimism, and fight.
Yes.
It's so important that people have a place to come so that while we remember history and while we carry it in our hearts, we can also feel it and see it and experience it in a way that rejuvenates us. And you all, by the work you do here, important role, especially at this moment in time where we turn history in a way that gives us a.
It's a lot of we and our. Hey, Kamala, when you talk about our history, when you're looking at like civil rights and whatnot, who exactly is the we?
We?
I mean, it's not your history. Well, we all are well aware that that's not your history. How does this help Black empowerment? When you're an imposter and you sit up here in front of Black people while being an imposter, talking about things that you obviously can't relate to.
Yes. It's so important that people have a place to come so that while we remember history and while we carry it in our hearts, we can also feel it and see it and experience it in a way that rejuvenates us. And you all, by the work you do here, are performing such an important role, especially at this moment in time where we need to remind people of our true history in a way that gives us a collective sense of pride in who we are as Americans. So thank you all very much.
All right.
Of the old Negro spirit, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
You started showing that
I mean, family. I mean, really. So this is supposed to invoke what emotion? Here she is, showing herself to let you know that we were here and we're gonna be where Dr. King stood. Be nostalgic of Black American history and the struggle from slavery through Jim Crow to now. Our history is rich. How is it that we still keep getting this white woman, or I mean, this Caucasian Indian woman talking this wee stuff about our history? How does this happen? And you know, one of the reasons I know how it happens is that that older Black crowd that absolutely refuses to let go of symbolisms and idealisms. And that's all this is. And for some reason, you can't commit to that. It's like, that's all this is. It's simple. And she's over here listening to We Shall Overcome. And matter of fact, I don't know if I have that. Do I? Let me see, because there's a video I saw. We shall overcome. Like, you know, this is just outrageous at this point. This other picture, though, it's just too much. Hold on, let me get this other picture over here. Get this over here. See, I can see this picture. To me, look at this picture. Look at this picture. Who told her that, hey, you know what? We're going to have you take a picture with the Rosa Parks statue. And so Rosa Parks sat so you could run. And so we're going to go ahead and get the actual photo with you and her sitting right behind her in the seat so we can catch that photo out. They are really running with this. They are leaning into it. And it's an insult. It's an absolute insult. People are going to be like, I don't think it's a big deal. Is record, just for the record, Kamala's not Black, you know, so you know, that's her lineage. Her father is Indian Irish, born in Jamaica. And anybody that's been around Indians, you should know, that ain't no damn Black man. He's an Indian man, just like her mom. Those are two Indians. She got two Indian parents. There's not a Black parent there. He Indian, she Indian. I'm from the Northwest. So I see people that look like them every day. Every single day. So stop talking to us like we don't know what we know the different in ethnicities out here because we're surrounded by everybody. This is a true melting pot out here on the West Coast. So we know when people aren't legitimately Black. We'd be able to tell the difference. I mean, come on. For this intense, for all intents and purposes, with doing stuff like this, that means that you are saying you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between an Indian and a Somalian. It's basically the same comparison. Dark-skinned Indian or like Pakistani and the Somalian. So if you could see the difference in them, you can see the difference in us. Miss me with the BS. That's all cap. So let me play this other video. This woman over here. Hey, the growing up black type talk. It's just madness, man.
When the federal government rips people out of their car, out of their home, out of their church, when families are separated and a mother of 3 is shot and killed by an ICE agent in Minneapolis, people are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Fannie Lou Hamer. I mean, so again, finding a way to exploit our lineage in this mix. But let's not stop there.
And when you are a black child in America going to an HBCU during that phase of life.
When you're what?
And when you are a black child in America going to an HBCU during that phase of life.
Wait, one more time, what?
And when you are a black child in America going to an HBCU during that phase of life, it is an environment in which everything tells you you are special. You have a legacy to which you owe a duty and must honor, and much is expected of you. In fact, the first office that I ran for was freshman class representative at Howard University School of Law.
I just wanted that to roll so you were not confused that she did just identify herself as a black kid growing up here. That's not cosplaying. That's at this point, that's flat out lying. I'm sure she did run for a position at Howard. I don't doubt that. But yeah, like she's leaning heavy into it, and this isn't just her. She said she got a little help, you know. She has some assistance. They're going.
You don't know what you mean to Jackson, Mississippi. You don't know what you mean to Mississippi. You don't know what you mean to America. And in recognition of your many, many firsts, in recognition of all of the accomplishments that you've made, in recognition of the fact that you're the first woman to hold the office of vice president. You are the first African American to hold the office of vice president. You are the first African American to hold the office of vice president.
But she's not an African American. See, notice how they're not even playing the immigrant angle. No immigrant angle here. Y'all notice that? No. She the first black. Now watch what he finna do. She the first African American. Now watch what he does.
You are the first Asian American to hold the position of Vice President of the United States.
African American came before what she legitimately is. That's insane. Anyway, let the old Negro go off.
Earlier today, in recognition of all of your great firsts, I signed a proclamation declaring January 14th, 2026 Kamala Harris Day in Jackson, Mississippi.
I just thought of a movie based out of Mississippi featuring Denzel Washington and an Indian woman. Love affair. Mississippi Masala. Maybe people need to go get reacquainted with that. Because see, somewhere somebody's confusing things like Indians come over here and immediately just start procreating with black folk. Not at all. Like I said, go watch Mississippi Masala. And what's the irony that now in Mississippi, this old Negro has designated January 14th Kamala Harris Day in Jackson, Mississippi.
And we can't wait to hear more about your fabulous book that has so many of life's lessons about the fight for justice, the fight for helping young people, especially young women, understand what the possibilities they have before them in this great country of ours. And we need you now more than ever. And furthermore, you have all these.
We what? Then I guess you guys will be ready to support her over Gavin Newsom and whoever else in the next Democratic primary in the next few years. And you know, I would strongly advise to stop leading into the lie of her being African American. She's not. She's an Indian woman. And you're leaning into putting her as black before she's even Asian. That's an insult to Black America and to our history, our culture, our ancestors, our struggle, and to our today. It just doesn't stop with y'all. But nonetheless, let's hear a little more before I wrap this one up.
First, but I'm about to convey another first on you because we're giving Vice President Kamala Harris the key to the city of Jackson, Mississippi. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here as we fight the challenges that Jackson faces. We live in the hope that there will be more Kamala Harris's coming into this world, and particularly Kamala Harris's that come from Jackson, Mississippi. Thank you so much.
It's kind of hard when she's such a huge advocate for abortion. And in what you're saying, and what I've heard twice this week, are you guys talking about offspring as it relates to Kamala Harris, which is kind of crazy because she's a person that her whole platform was about baby deletion. Not economics, baby deletion. Not housing. Well, definitely couldn't be about housing because these housing companies that buy up all the housing, these real estate companies, you know, those are her big donors. So definitely weren't going to get any housing regulations out of that. No caps coming from that. But, you know, that's one of the elements that is overlooked about not having her in office right now. But nonetheless, let's keep going.
Let me just say, Mayor Horn and First Lady Horn and your beautiful daughter, I just want to thank you for this incredible honor. It was very important to me to come to Jackson for many reasons, but in particular because of all the leaders on stage and here in the audience. This is America's history.
Yes.
Was made in Jackson.
Yes.
Whether we're talking about the Freedom Riders, Medgar Evers' families, the students at Tougaloo College.
All people can do is bring up the accomplishments and the exceptionality of Black America, but offer nothing. Use the black like she's doing now. And this is not no homage to us. This is all about her career. And she knows she's cosplaying. And she sits up there and gets all of these accolades from you guys like trained sales. And just smiles in your face with this goofy look like she's giving you right now. Like this. Just gives you this goofy look. Oh, thank you. I mean, it's had to be coming here. Had to come to Jackson, Mississippi. All the leaders and Medgar Evers' family is here. I'm just so happy to come in here and grift off of you Negroes. You really were. I know you're going to be here for my campaign and give me some more money. I'll blow through giving to those white advertisers, but you Negroes are something else. Golly, this is what has to happen. This Moses generation. We are the Joshua generation. But Moses is trying to stay alive. But let me tell you something. Lazarus ain't coming up the tomb this time, old folks. So this is it. And she ain't coming back. Because this time around, nobody is in office to install her. That means she has to run butt naked from day one, all again. So you think she's going to be able to get past all of them other white boys? Let America talk. Let white America speak. Let the Democrat Liberal Party tell her and tell y'all what the truth is so you can stay the hell up out of Black people's faces, crying and whining how this woman didn't get in the office because she would be so much better if she was my president. I voted for her. She should be Madam President. But she's not. And if she should be, then the next election means that would be a fair election. And she is the former vice president. So generally speaking, rather, she should have a leg up on the competition. I say should. It's not saying it's going to be, but should. Now, is that something that can happen? No. Let's just let her finish her goofy laugh.
This is America's history. And so to be here and receive this key is an honor more than I can express. I thank you, Mayor, and to the people of Jackson, I thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, that's a short Negro. I'm just looking at how tall he is compared to her. Like, y'all damn near looking eye to eye. Damn, you short, dude. Nothing wrong with being short. Not at all. Yeah, there was something else I was going to play, but I think this wraps up what I was talking about. And so, getting up out here, I want to play this last video of Minister Farrakhan and his take on Martin Luther King and this system. As we close out another week in celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday and life, let Farrakhan give you a little piece of perspective, because you get like the Charlie Kirk, he was this, he was that, he was everything, but they only want to tell you what is. Let's hear the other side of things.
That's why I've grown to love Martin Luther King Jr. along with the great Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because the FBI got all these tapes of Martin Luther King in extramarital affairs. And they told him if he didn't stop criticizing the war in Vietnam, they were going to send these tapes to his wife. And Martin King would not talk. I love him for that. He said, you do what you gotta do. And I'm gonna do what I have to do. They sent the tapes to his wife. That's how rotten this government is. They wrote him letters trying to encourage him to kill himself.
The document's ominous closing, according to some scholars, suggested that Dr. King was given a deadline of 34 days to take his own life or suffer the humiliation of the tape's release.
The interpretation of this by the people that investigated the FBI later, and by just about everybody who has gone through these records, believes that they intended for him to commit suicide.
This is the government. And when he wouldn't kill himself, they killed him. But they can't kill that spirit.
And that they can't. So, leaving on the note of how we started.
They provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today, many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. This is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Family, this has been the Dr. Martin Luther King birthday celebration special. And you know, Non-FBA Kamala Harris, or Kamala Harris, whichever the way you want to pronounce it today, grifting from MLK and cosplaying an African American. Y'all might say, what does it matter? It matters so much that she's doing it. That's what it matters. It matters so much that they would spend over $2 billion to promote a non-foundational Black American as a Black American. That's what it matters. Now, I didn't spend the money. They did. If you're too hard-headed to understand that that is a disrespectful con to put on to Black America, well, I can only speak for myself. beatzillapdxofficial. Of course, the independent Black voice. I'm pretty sure I speak for those of you in the chat and the comments and the Black grassroots and the voices of new Black media. I think I can say I'm safe to speak for all parties involved there when we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket, you can do so by way of donation to Cash App. It's $beatzillapdx. We also have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And so, until next time, family, you make sure you keep your notification bells on. And we all have a good week. We did not do a week closeout last week, but we're going to do a week starter, you know? But with that being said, make sure, again, like I said, like this video, as I said in the beginning, share this out. If you have not already joined, join. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, do so at this time. Hit that notification bell, hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded or premieres, like the video earlier today. And so, of course, this is a tape delayed broadcast, but we are closing it out. So with that being said, y'all, keep your 3 smooth stones at the ready and your slingshot nearby. Stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Y'all have a blessed week and prosperous weekend if we don't speak before then.
So if any black people want reparations
and want to stay a star, don't want to have to worry about
tethers,
trying to be all in the video,
speaking for black people,
dancing,
come to New Black Media and the Black Grassroots. Peace.